Hi guys, and welcome to the second episode of the, what did I call it again? Travel Business Podcast. Travel Business Secrets Podcast. Actually, I think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to change it to Time Rich Secrets. It's pretty late, yeah, because I've just I just recently pondered upon this idea of doing the travel business theory, like how to quickly make a business that will bring you a residual income with minimal effort, right? That's basically what that's the idea. And I thought I only just had the idea like a week ago, but in reality, now that I recall, like 3 or 4 years ago, I started writing this book, which I've never finished, but I've still got like what I did. I did quite a lot of it on file, and it was called my title for it was going to be called Time Rich. And it's basically the same concept, but I think maybe Time Rich is a better target. I don't know. It's like, because if you say Time Rich, from a marketing perspective, I think people will understand what that is more quickly than travel business. Like travel business, they might be thinking you're starting a travel business like a tour company or something, whereas that's not really true at all. So Time Rich is more like, all right, I'm going to, it's got the word rich in it, so it's about money or business, or and time. If you're time rich, it means you're gonna have more time, right? I got to run this idea past a few people, and it might change completely, as you know, because this is like the very, very start. So I don't know. By the time we get to episode 10 or something, it might be completely different. We'll see where we go. Anyway, I thought I'd just put that out there. I packed today because tomorrow I'm going to Mexico for 1 week, to Mexico City for a night, and then to Puebla. Puebla, for those of you that don't know the geography of Mexico, is about a 2-hour bus ride away from Mexico City, and it's like the third biggest city in Mexico. I'm not a big fan of cities. Originally, I was going to go to a place called Todos Santos, which is in Baja Sur. But then, so every year I meet up with my main employee. I've only got like 3 or 4 people on the payroll, and at the moment only 3 of them are actually paid all the time. The rest of them are just freelance. But so the one I'm meeting in a week or so, she was probably my first full-time employee. She's from Colombia. I'm half Colombian. I don't speak very good Spanish, but I'm half Colombian. I grew up in Australia. That's stuff you don't really need to know, but no, I might as well tell you. And then I hired her to do the marketing for my, I guess my second business, but my most successful business. And to be fair, like, just so you know, full disclaimer, none of my businesses are very successful, right? I don't scrape by, but I don't have a family to take care of or anything. So, I do all right for myself, but I'm not rich by any means. I am actually time rich now, because I've been able, for example, I've just spent the last 5 months or 4 to 5 months at a summer camp, and all I've really done to uphold the business is about half an hour work a day on the business and on the businesses, right? And they still keeps bringing me enough money to continue to travel. The camp does pay me, but it's negligent compared to what the business makes. So I would have, to be honest, I told them I'd work here for free, and they ended up paying me anyway because they're a business. So they play fair, we play fair, we all play fair. And I love it here. It's like one of my favourite places in the world, which is why I stay longer. But I'm leaving tomorrow. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked because it's very late here and I got to get some sleep. So anyway, I forgot what the initial point of this episode was. I think I was going to tell you about my businesses and how I got to the stage I am. Oh, no. I was talking about the title of it, right? Time Rich. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, sorry. My mind goes a bit funny sometimes, especially when I'm tired. So I was meant to go to this place called Todos Santos, right? This is just a rant episode. Sorry about that. I'll tell you tomorrow when I do the next episode. I'll go it'll be more specific on, maybe I'll give you my backstory, my business backstory about how I got to where I am and what I actually plan to do. But for this episode, I'm just going to rant a little bit, because I feel like I should get an episode out there. So I was meant to go to a place called Todos Santos, which when I looked it up, so basically what I did is I looked up places in Mexico. First, I wanted to go to Mexico because I love Mexico. They speak Spanish. I get to practice my Spanish. I like the food, and the internet's good, so I can work there, and it's nice and warm. All the things I like the most. Colombia is good also, but the one thing I did want to do is have, well, first of all, in Colombia, the internet's not as good as in Mexico. Also, there's nowhere in Colombia that has a beach and mountain biking in the one spot. There is actually, but it's not convenient. But in Todos, because the mountain bike place is like 2 hours away from the beach or whatever, Todos Santos is this place that I saw on paper that like it looks like it might be good, like really good for it. But I ended up choosing not to go there for, I don't know, for some reason. I just decided I should go somewhere that I haven't been before. And I remember halfway through the summer, I was talking to this guy, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do after camp or whatever. And then he said something like Brazil, or somehow Brazil came up. And then I remember just being like, you know what? I can go wherever I want. So I'll go to Brazil. So then I was about to book tickets to Todos Santos or whatever, and then I quickly emailed my employee and I said, listen, how about we go to Brazil? You've never been to Brazil, you've never been to Mexico either, but you can go to Mexico yourself. It's like right next to Colombia. It's cheaper. But if we go to Brazil, then the company pays for it, so it's like a bigger expense, and you don't have to pay for it. You get a free holiday to Brazil. Well, not really. You have to work. We have to work there, but you know what I mean. And she was a bit nervous because she'd never been out of a Spanish-speaking country before. She'd never caught a plane internationally before. She lived in Ecuador for a while, but they speak Spanish, and she took a bus there. So she's worried about not being able to speak Portuguese. But I told her, listen, I've lived in like China, can't speak a word of Chinese, and they speak no English, right? At least in Brazil, we'll be able to find people that speak at least a little bit of English. She can't speak English, or she not very well. And Portuguese is very similar to Spanish. And by very similar, I mean like it is very similar. Like then you can't mutually understand, but there's a lot of words that are like the same, just with a little tweak or whatever. And I've been starting to learn Portuguese actually. I've been using the Michael Michelle something method to learn. Anyway, I'll do a thing about how to learn languages. Not that I'm a polyglot or anything, but I'll do one podcast one day. So anyway, so that's what's happening. So then I'm going to Brazil. All right, so I'm going to go tomorrow morning. I fly from here to Mexico. I'll stay in Mexico City for one night, catch a bus to Puebla, stay in Puebla for like 7 nights, then bus back to Mexico City, stay one night there, and then another night there to like and then catch a plane early in the morning on like in about 10 days from now to Brazil. And then I'll be in Brazil for 6 weeks in Rio, and I'm sure that we'll go to other places as well and come back. Rio is going to be the base. It'll have everything we need. Probably maybe there's a mountain bike park. Hopefully I can find a good MMA gym so I can start training there. And all this stuff about mountain biking and MMA, that'll come into context when I tell you about my other businesses, which I guess will be the day after tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I just like outdoor stuff. So that's what I do when I travel. And hopefully it'll be good. Anyway, so I was packing today, and I'm quite a light packer. I can get away with just doing carry-on. But because I've been here for like 5, and for some reason I went nuts buying stuff on Amazon this year. Like I must have spent about $1,000 on Amazon just buying, not ridiculous though, like a lot of it was consumables like food items and supplements because I'm a bit of a health nut. But then there was also a lot of stuff that I bought where I was like, oh, it's accumulated. So now, and plus for some reason I accumulated loads of t-shirts, like the camps t-shirts mainly, but then just lots of spare clothes. Maybe it's also because it's a bit colder here, so I'll put some more stuff. So anyway, I'm leaving a bunch of stuff behind. Let's just put it that way. I'm leaving a bunch of stuff behind. I did manage to fit it all into like what I want to take into my bag. And plus, one of my friends from Puebla was like, hey, can you go into my stash of stuff, which not mine, but hers, and grab like this little box full of beads and bracelet things, to make like friendship bracelets. I was like, all right. So now I have to take that to her, and then I've got a little present for my employee, and I'll give that to her. So that takes up some room as well. So I'm pretty like I've managed to get it all on carry-on, but it's chock-a-block. All right, I think that's it for today. Sorry, I'm not sure if you got anything useful out of that. Probably not. It was just me telling you about what I'm doing. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'll give you the backstory, and then we're gonna start. Like once I get settled into Brazil, I'll start actually creating this thing, and you'll start to get hopefully nuggets of gold every other day, or at least every audio. And hopefully by then we have a name as well. I might take a couple of weeks before we get before I nail down the idea. But because at the start, like the first starting ones, when we start actually doing it, not that I'm not doing it now, but when I get my stuff together, like the first step will be like to figure out exactly the idea. Right? I've got a pretty good idea what it is now. I've already told you a few times what it is, but I mean I'll be able to nail it down and be able to figure out a good name and all that sort of stuff. All right, that's it for today. I'll have a good night, guys, and I'll see you. Next time. We'll see you next time. Bye.